tonight, coming in huge, is the one and only. We saw him race here last night. Justin Shackett. Dsmith is telling us to accept our invites. Give us one split second. We're going to blue screen, and we're going to jump into this race real quick. Good luck, buddy. And Justin, we've seen it too. The high line works here. If you're by yourself, you get clean air. You can diamond that corner off. You can definitely make it a lot quicker that way too. Try if you're on the inside, you got to keep off the person on the outside. Keep them off the wall. If they actually get loose or tight, they bounce off the wall. Things can go crazy here at Bristol.
Yeah, I have a feeling tonight's going to be a little more interesting than last night, just because a lot of times with these cup cars, you can a lot of times run that bottom, and it's a little bit easier to keep a cup car on that bottom line versus a truck or an Xfinity car.
And something else too, tonight we are doing it preset style. We are on the sliders tonight, and we are on 2x tire wear. I was in a chat with some of these guys earlier who were practicing. To get these big old heavy cup cars to turn and rotate, a lot of these guys are on 9s. Now, there's a couple people tonight, too, who are normally on a wheel. They've actually decided to bang sticks tonight and hit the controller as we see the number 4 of Nuka Bob Quantum out front as we're loading in. So we're going to keep an eye on some of those controller guys tonight, normally on a wheel.
Yeah, I find it myself a little easier on some tracks to do controllers, because you just... With a wheel here, especially at Bristol, a lot of times your feet and your arms can get tired very, very easily because you're not off the gas for very long.
No, not at all correct. But we see up there, Nuka Bob, he's got a little pressure right there behind him. That is Private Pat there. And then we see Big Jim in that number 9 car. One car gets loose. It does look like Pat got loose coming off the corner. Something these preset guys cannot wait to do is get to pits tonight to make those adjustments, as we talk about it all the time on presets. One car behind the 73 tonight is Hunty Wild in a 73, not running his traditional Toyota 54 Xfinity car, but one car behind him clips the wall. Battle for second place. Big Jim makes a move to the outside. He clips the wall. That's going to slow him down just a little bit. Hunting Wild trying to find a way underneath him. But Nuka Bob, man, in a different league, I raced with him last night. He was excited. He started 17th and then ended up finishing 3rd last night. So he's on a great momentum in league racing here on Heat 5.
Yeah, and I'm on board with the 18 right now. It looks like he is going to be the first car to maybe fall victim to the leaders. I don't know if this is strategy or if something happened in the process.
As I try to get technology worked out here so I can say what's up to everybody out there in YouTube land, I'm going to get the computer turned on here, and we do have one of our racers tonight, K Taddy. He will be broadcasting on his channel, so hopefully we can pick up a little bit of lap information, since again we say it all the time, 704 does not care to give us that ticker.
And NRG is on pit road already with major front end damage,
and
so
yeah,
he is going to possibly go down 3 or 4 laps here.
One lap, you know, to get your lap back. Maybe hope for a caution, maybe bank on something like that. If you stayed the first car lap down, we'll get you that lap back, as we all know. But big battle up there for the lead, too. But lap traffic, that is a factor here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway. The last great Coliseum, as they like to call it. Cola Motorsports is in the 41 right behind Hunty. Hunty behind Big Jim. Big Jim right there behind Private Pat, and Private Pat makes a move to the inside for the lead, trying to click back up there. Big field tonight, as you never broadcasted before. It is kind of difficult at times to get everybody up there. This does give us a little bit of a rundown real quick too. Tackleberry, one of my good buddies, I ain't talked to him in a while. Great to see him out there on the track. K Taddy out there running that Earnhardt Petty paint scheme in the 48. Very good looking car.
Yeah, and
go ahead.
It's early in the going, but looks like 2 out of the 3 Podium Motorsports cars have a strong showing right now. So I'm curious to see if that's going to last through the whole thing. The other car I'm keeping an eye on, too, is Hunty, because Hunty won that custom Xfinity race last night. So I'm curious to see if he can go back-to-back.
did it in style. So here we go again, trying to get logged into the YouTube. Still on board with Nuka Bob Quantum as the battle for the lead intensifies. 2 cars right out front. Private Pat trying to make a move to the inside of the 4. That is 14, it looks like right there. But Big Jim just patiently waiting for these guys to possibly make this mistake and pounce. They have pulled out 4 or 5 cars on that 4th place car. It appears to be Cole Motorsports right now.
We got Crab Leg going to the inside, or Crab Leg's on the outside of the 10.
Battle for the lead, still top 3 right now, looking good. Guys trying to stay off the wall. We will click through the field here shortly and see what's happening behind them, but don't want to take an eye off these leaders there, Justin.
Yeah, these leaders the top 3 have driven away from Cola. I don't know if this is strategy by Cola because this is such a long race tonight. And here with presets, you can find out that you're using up that right front way more than what you want. Running side by side is definitely not going to help you right now. Oh, no, we have Energy back on the apron. He is not having... Oh, and the 24 went on pit road. Who is in the 24?
24's got Nub.
So it looks like he went to go miss NRG and got loose and ended up being put down the wrong pit road, which is going to cost him heavily,
a couple laps,
because he's going to have to come all the way out and get back on track. 21 car on pit lane
right now too.
Yeah, NRG is not having a good night. I just don't know if there's too much damage done to that car or if he did not get a good preset in, but this is costing him major.
We got 6 viewers out there. Podium Power Taddy. Again, he says Taddy starts 17th. Not excited about it tonight. Again, a wheel guy going to a controller race. Fast Camaro says, what's up? How you doing, good buddy? What's up? Shake and bake. How you doing, man? We just started the race. As we see, again, I got my computer pulled up here so I can talk to you guys, and on my phone looking at it, I will give you a lap count here as we see Big Jim making a move to the outside, but he's trying to figure out what that 14 car, the Private Pat's going to do too right there. Private Pat trying to make a move for the lead up here.
That 4 car definitely, with the way that he's entering the corner, he's not really throwing a block, but he's really taking away the lane the 14 wants, because the 14 is trying to make that pass at the bottom, but in order to make that work, you need as much clean air as possible. So the 4 is taking the clean air off his nose, which is probably making him a little tight, but no harm, no foul.
And at the line this time for him, it should be 36 to go for him at the line. Again, I'm on board on my phone with Taddy, keeping an eye on that. He's in 13th, not a lap down yet. So, but when you're running high pitch turn, you got 15 high 15, low 16 lap times. I mean, you're doing 3 laps in a minute. So the race goes by quick. We've still been clean and green, no cautions. The top 3 have spread out just a little bit. UK says go TNT. I'm going to tell UK just to go to bed. He knows the drill on that one. But let's click through the field here real quick. Hunty is falling back behind the Cola. They got 1 car in front of him. I know that's the 21. That is a lap car. Crab Leg in the 19, though, trying to hold on to his position. And he's got the 22 machine right behind him. Mo Power Titan out there in the 18. His Titan doesn't seem to be working real good for him tonight, as he's got some damage to that 18 Toyota.
Yeah, and I'm keeping an eye on the leaders, because here in the next couple laps, they're going to start catching the back half of the field. So I'm curious to see if this, in Cup, if the lap traffic is going to play hindrance to the leaders, or if it's going to play out like the other previous races, where they kind of just give way to the leaders.
Yeah, and we do see a lot of respect over here at Cringe, you know, when that thing's happened. Battle back here with Gatekeeper.
Oh, and the 14 has a run on the 4 this time.
Let's get
He's going to stay on his quarter panel.
That is the 21 is in RG, so that's who we saw in pit lane. Let's get back up front. The 22 is Darkwing Duck.
And they're definitely going to want to get clear before they hit that lap car, because that could... Ooh, and the 4 got loose.
Big
The
Jim
4 is
contacting to the
loose.
wall. Private Pat and Nuka Bob all involved. The top 3 leaders, 2 of the 3 heavy contact into the
huge
wall.
wreck.
Here comes Hunty Wild plowing into him.
That should cause it. That should be a caution.
If that's not a caution, then
The
I
4
kiss
is
your
stuck
ass.
on his side.
Wow.
That is not a caution.
How is that not a caution? To just wiped out the top 3 leaders right there.
Yeah, and one car got forced down pit road. I'm not 100% sure who it was. The 41 of Cola.
Oh, he's not a happy can of pop right now. The 14 on Teddy's screen is still the leader. So Private Patton, he was not involved in that. So I go back.
And the 10 goes around on the front stretch at the start finish.
I retract that.
And he's not going to be able to come back up on the track because of the cars coming.
How is that not a caution? Still mind blown. Country Caliber out there in his traditional piece of crap Toyota 11 car. Everybody knows him as Country Caliber, but he loves to be called Daddy. Gets loose coming off the corner. These preset guys now on these worn tires really can't wait to get to that stage end here. And it looks like we've got 26 laps to go. I think that just said. It's kind of small on my phone.
So the
16 seconds later, I'll give you guys another update. Again, these laps turn off quick, Justin.
14 is going to try to put more power Titans a lap down, but the hardest thing, too, is a lot of times you hear people say they have to run a 9 to get these cars to turn. Well, you're going to pay the price really fast because those tires are going to wear like no tomorrow.
That is
so,
correct.
I mean, you have to either pick or choose. Do you want the car to turn early in the run and have it fall off really fast?
Oh,
or do you want
Nubby
a tighter
around on
car?
the... Sorry, Justin. The 24 and Nubby spins on the front stretch, it looked like right there. The 38 behind the 48. Trying to catch up right there. But again, on the screen, is still Private Patton, the 14 car, our leader. Nuka Bob and Big Jim, heavy contact, big damage to those vehicles. They were right there, the top 3 pulling away just a little bit. And even Fast Camaro just said, go to bed, UK. That's right. That's right. See? Even Robert saying, go to bed. On board with Private Pat, and now he has a lot of traffic coming up right in front of him. One of the cars is K-Taddy, it looks like. So, and Taddy's in 10th, so the top 10 in jeopardy of starting to go down a lap here. Now, that can be detrimental to those guys behind him. One lap is, you can get it back, but only one person gets one lap back.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see how pit stops are going to work because a lot of your fast guys have damage, which are going to have extended pit stops. So that's probably going to shake up the order when we go to the stage break.
And just to let everybody know out there, Big Jim racing out of Knievel Motorsports is not fired this week. Obviously, everybody knows my love of Chevrolets, but they obviously know my love of orange. Big Jim has orange on his car. He is not fired this week like Blakey T. Blakey T gets fired every day, by the way, in the chat.
Wicked Gatekeeper is having a rough time right now just to keep that car straight off the corners.
Yeah, we're these guys on the presets without that caution coming out, Justin. Tires getting worn. Taddy's back to 11th. I'll tell you right now, we've got 17 to go. 17 to go right now for the top. You know, everybody on the lead lap. Taddy is still on the lead lap, but looks like he could be the next car going down a lap. So,
and I'm not sure how many laps down the 4 car went, but he's back on the bumper of the 14. So, if he's 1 lap down, do you push the issue now, knowing that the 14's probably going to be catching the 48?
I mean, if the 4 car right there, if his car's handling great and he is on the back of the 14 car, take advantage of that lap traffic, use it as a pick as the 14 gets loose.
And the 14 got loose trying to pass the 48. That's going to allow the 9 around him. And so now Big Jim is going to inherit the lead.
14 still the leader on pit lane right now. Now, yep, there it is. Now the 9 is back up front there. Yes, you are correct. Big Jim now the leader in that beautiful orange and black Chevrolet KMS Motorsports vehicle right there.
And how many laps do we have left in the stage?
13. 13. Taddy is still hanging on right there. So we got 13 laps to go. Again, 15, 16 seconds a lap. You know, that's 3 laps a minute. it won't take long to click these laps off here at Bristol on the high banks on the concrete track.
Yeah, so if you're a Big Jim right now, the only thing that you have going in your mind is you've seen two leaders in front of you wreck getting loose, trying to get around people. You have a gap back to the 14 right now. I would not pressure the next car in front of you to put them a lap down if you don't have to.
Big Jim doesn't have a lot of pressure behind him, but he does have damage on his vehicle too from that situation earlier in the race. 21 of NRG right in front of him with the lap traffic. I mean, if you're faster, you're faster, but you don't want to push the issues as we're probably coming through 10 to go now again with no pressure behind. You want if you can get around them, you can, but don't push the issue. Don't wear your car out. You're on old tires. Coming up the corners, you can get really loose there, Justin, and you got to be careful. But he's got 4 cars right in front of him, so Big Jim just trying to hold on to everything he's got patiently right now.
Well, and you know the 21 is already multiple laps down because he's been down pit road twice already. So the question is the 4 car still a lap down, or is he trying to battle Taddy, knowing that the leader's behind him? That's really the question.
And my math out there being, and see right now, Big Jim's trying to, he stayed off the 21, the 21 let him go. Now Big Jim, it gets underneath the 10, the 10 into the 4 gets 4 into the wall. That means Wicked Gatekeeper's right there too, so contact with those guys. But my math coming in, Coco says it's 4 laps a minute, not 3. Okay, you're right. I never claimed to be an Albert Einstein mathematician over here, Justin, but Taddy now, our in-race guy online.
And Taddy got the wall.
Now he is a lap down.
Yeah, so if you're Big Jim right here, the one thing you definitely want to pay attention to, too, is how easy is the lap traffic going to concede to the 14 behind you?
So there's 4 to go. There should be 3 to go now, as I looked at that, because he is. So we got 3 to go in our first stage, Justin. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, so it's how fast can the 14 get around the 48? That's going to be the question. Because he is closing the gap right now. But if he can't get around the 48, at least the next lap, the stage is going to go to Big Jim.
And this track is such a rhythm track. You talked about it earlier in the pre-race real quick before we jumped in there. And it gets very monotonous if you are on a wheel. But even on a controller, to hit your marks, you're not necessarily touching the brake. Obviously, you're not off the gas very long, but you don't. Oh, one car goes around.
And the 17 is a round of icy.
It is icy. And
that's probably not the way that he wanted to start his team ownership tonight. No,
and Mike out there has to have a good night too. He accidentally wrecked his teammate out there on the track the other night, so Mike tried to do everything he can. Big Jim's going to get the stage win tonight here at Bristol Preset Cup.
So now the question is who was the first car lap down? By the looks of it, it looks like it was Taddy.
I do believe you're right there, yeah.
A lot of these cars have significant nose damage, so this is definitely going to shake up the running order, because a lot of these cars are going to have to fix that damage going into the next stage.
Yeah, and fixing the damage might cost you a couple laps on pit lane too, but at the same time, something you want to do to get that car to handle. But a lot of these guys, damage or not, want to come in there and make those adjustments. ×2 tire wear, Cup car, Bristol. Me, Justin, I don't know about you, but I'd be on a 5 or a 6 because banking on long runs, which we have seen tonight. The long run, that means, being able to procure, get loose coming off of the corners.
One car did not go. The 10 car did not get a good start, so that is going to stack up that back half of the field. But yeah, back to what you were saying. I consistently run a 5 at any track if I'm not 100% sure what to do, because it's right down the middle. It gives you the most room to, make a change, but then also go back on the change, because if you go too high, you're just a narrow selection away from making the wrong change to where you can't get it back to where you want it to be.
Exactly. I like your mindset on that too.
And Taddy got the lucky dog, so he's going to start tail end of the field. So he's going to have to work his way around lap traffic first before he can get up here and really battle. Oh, and Cola in the wall hard.
Hard contact for
Oh, and the 21 is around again on the front stretch with huge damage to the nose. He is just going to sit there. I don't know if he's going to... if that engine is done for.
I think he was waiting for those guys to go by again, which is very respectful.
Oh, and there's a car in the wall directly in front of him. He's still there. He's not moving.
No, he's not, but again, frustrations, we've seen it in real life and on here. It brings out tempers. Tempers can fly. Mr. Dale Earnhardt Sr. himself has been one to definitely, you know, rile some people up here.
Oh, and Cola's coming down pit road now.
Yeah, it looks like something happened there.
And the 21 is still stuck there. I don't know if he's stuck in the wall and just can't get the car to move. It looks like he's trying to get the car to move, but the car's not budging off the wall.
Yeah, the 21 is still there as he goes down.
He's finally got it to come off the wall.
But the battle for the lead is thickening up, though, Justin. Here comes that 14 of Private Patton. That is 19 of Crab Legs over there. Mo Power Legs.
Oh, and we have a 3-wide battle. The 17 gets in, forces the 10 down pit road. I'm telling you, Puddin, I don't know how people do this. I had enough last night of running 150 laps at Custom Xfinity. I could not do back, like, how Hunty and some of these guys in NRG are doing 150 and then to 250 laps. More power
I don't
to
know.
you.
I don't know either, man, because I had to do the custom truck race and then that last night. So again, as the series has progressed, the laps advance. Plus the time you put in on a custom.
Yep.
It just gets so aggravating at times. But new leader, the 14 Private Patton, makes his way around Big Jim in that number 9 car.
But Big Jim is not letting him get away. He's staying right there with him. And it looks like we have a new player in 3rd place.
Crab Legs in that 19. Oh, Krabby Patty.
He tends to be he reminds me a lot of me with his driving style. He's very quiet. He's not...
And I've known Crab Leg for a long time. I know Zach for a long time, and I agree with that. He is one of those silent, deadly people, just like you said, you know. Last night, man, you had one heck of a car putting on one heck of a show, and all of a sudden, here comes that 51. You were slowly sneaking your way up there. So, yeah, very, very good tactics, by the way, by both of you, just to be...
My biggest goal in Custom Xfinity this season, just get top 10s. That's it. That's it. That's all I want.
And that's hard to do here in Cringe.
It is, because
the 41 at Cola Motorsports parked the Mustang. He said, I'm done. And he was one of the controller guys tonight from a wheel. His wheel broke, so his new one didn't come in. But, yeah, he said, I'm not doing it anymore. This Ford Mustang just smoked the motor because it's a Ford, and that's what Fords do, is blow motors up.
And he's got quite a bit of damage on that number 41. After hitting the wall.
Good battle back here between Flirt, too. Mo Power Disaster right behind that 73 of Hunty, and then they got the Quackmaster right in front of them. That is the battle behind the top 3. The top 3 still remains Private Patton, Big Jim, and Old Krabby Patty. Mo Power Legs.
It's very funny because the more and more I look at the Mo Power Toyotas, 1 week, they're the cars to beat. Last week at Chicagoland, for example, they dominated most of that race. They dominated most of Talladega. You know, this week at Bristol, they're not really having the cars that came off the truck to possibly battle for wins, other than last night. You know, the 54 obviously was the class of the field.
And Bristol is kind of one of those places that's like a plate track. It's the exact opposite, but because of circumstances that can happen throughout the race, it's anybody's race, and your strategy comes into play.
That's the hardest part. It's anybody's race. This is not a race where, you know, you see all the good guys up here. This is a track where some of the best struggle, and sometimes you see the not so best of the best drivers prevail at a track like this.
Happy Face says Mo Powell, baby. I don't know who Happy Face is, but he's obviously one of the Mo Powers. And then UK, Mo Power Cat. I mean, if you're going to change your name to something, why wouldn't you name it to, like, Mo Power Tiger, Mo Power Lion, Mo Power Jaguar? He just wanted to go and be a friendly feline cat at home. He just goes, meow, I sleep all day, I go to bed. Mo Power Cat. I mean, come on.
We have a lot of following for the Mo Power team, but I'm not feeling the love for some of these other teams out there, like Podium Motorsports, Knievel. Where's the
Medical
love for the other
Motorsports.
teams? There's more than just one team out there, guys.
Yeah, Medical Motorsports, Coco Money. You know, you got Money Racing. I did change my name to. I did change my name one night. It was only a 24-hour thing. I changed it to Mo Power Puddin. It just didn't have that same ring as Puddin Knievel.
So we got Coco Money Mike out there saying, Puddin, if you changed your name, it would be Mo Power Gummers.
All right. Everybody in the last 48 hours has been giving me so much shit about about how old I am and I ain't got no teeth. All right, I get it.
And Private Patton has pulled away from second place. And so now Big Jim is going to be falling victim to that 19. And then right behind the 19, I believe, is Hunty is falling back. It looks like the 20 has gotten around him.
Hunty's a trash can. We all know that, though, there, Justin. You know, so.
See, I can't say anything bad about Hunty because oh, the 20's around on the front stretch. Is he going to collect anybody else with him? I can't say anything bad about Hunty because I race with Hunty in another league, so I don't need him to come into the other league and wreck me, so we'll just keep it at that.
UK said, Puddin, you just worry about Puddin. I'll worry about Mo Power Chat. Okay. Or that's Mo Power Cat. Mo Power...
I will say, though...
Mo Power Feline. He needs to change his name just to Mo Power Meow.
To be in the booth with, it would definitely be you.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I try very hard.
And it's not only because we're teammates.
I try really hard. I really enjoy doing it. The first couple times I've been up here with you, Justin, man, you have been very.
The 20 is around again.
Your insight and picking up on details and everything, man. And again, Free Agent Friday, such so lucky to have you and Denkate and Keith doing what you guys do over there. So thank you for what you guys do over there and stepping up and helping Cringe, have another successful season here at Season 6.
Yeah, and if there's any captains out there, you don't have to wait a couple of weeks to pick up a driver. If you want a driver, message one of us and we will give you the info to contact that driver. We are not holding drivers back this season. We want to fill. Our goal from Free Agent Friday is to fill every single seat in Cringe by the end of the season.
I like
that. To give the guys opportunities. Everybody in here deserves a ride. So captains, keep your eyes out. And we are signing drivers. Some old drivers that you're going to see come back to the league. Little Man, who used to be a team owner and then stepped away for a little while, he is making his return in Free Agent Fridays.
He's a good buddy too.
So, anybody who wants to, I suggest anybody to watch. We had some really good racing on Free Agent Friday. But yeah, Denkate really, he is the soul and the heart of Free Agent Friday. But I'm glad to be part of it, and
I have a preset truck ride open, I'm telling you, so I will be participating to keep an eye out there. I raced the other night with you guys on the custom side. I couldn't make the preset one, but my little buddy Ollie was right here, so, but I keep an eye out there. But yeah, I'm clicking through
he's on around, and the leaders are coming up on him right now. He's gonna get. Oh, and the
saying he's not
21
having
is
a good night
around.
tonight. He's on a controller, and he's like, "That's the worst thing ever invented for racing. Is racing on a controller." I agree, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So the hardest part about that is I know it's frustrating, and I know you want to hit that exit button as soon as possible. But the one thing you have to remember is not only are you racing for yourself for a playoff position, but you have to remember you're trying to get your team and your owner that owner's championship at the same time.
Very
So
good detail.
I know it's easy. It's
ahead.
easy to back out, but you have a team that you're backing too, and you're trying to take that owner's championship for yourself, not only as an owner, but you're also trying to get it as yourself as a driver. But there's nights that I get pissed off too, and I want to end it, but I got to keep reminding myself I'm also racing for my owner to be the owner's champion as well.
16 laps to go in this stage. No, you're 1,000% correct. Towards the end of the season, when people feel like they're out of the championship hunt themselves, they forget that they can still get their team owner points. And captains look at that, like, who's your team players, who's going to be there to the end. But 14 of Private Patton's still out there being the leader. Taddy was in 10th place. That's 14 to go right now, so we are going to end up coming to a very short stage here with no cautions. Stage 2 is going to come to a conclusion, and Private Patton looking real good, but can't rule out Big Jim and Nuka and some of these other guys that we have seen up there running up front too on these preset sliders in Season 6 here at Bristol, Justin.
But yeah, we just saw what happened in last stage. He's going to catch lap traffic, more than likely. There could be a situation like what happened with the 4. Somebody gets loose and he gets taken out. It's very, very... unfortunately, the hardest thing, too, that you have to remember... Oh, and there's the 20 is around in the middle of the turn.
Oh, yeah, Flirt not having a good night tonight. Coco said, "Oh, your owner championship." Yeah, I'm all right. Well, you know what? In order to own to have an owner's championship, if your driver is winning the race and you're a lap down or even getting past, things not to do as an owner: take out your driver.
This is
Money
true.
Mike.
That's definitely not a way to win the owner's championship.
And he found that out last night.
Don't take out your drivers.
If I was him, I would be suing my owner and be like, "Money Mike, I'm suing you."
I'd be going on strike. I'd be like, "Listen, I need a new team owner. This guy just wrecked me." Like, yeah. I'm just kidding. Don't hate me. Don't come for me.
I like Money Mike. Everybody knows I've hung out with him a couple times, man. He's good people. Things do happen. He's out there working on the boat too. So, I remember, it's hard for him with his technology. Not everybody can take their wheel with them and stuff. But Mike's good people. Things do happen. But coming under 10 to go here, Stage 2 at Bristol. Cran Season 6 Preset Cup tonight, Justin. Tomorrow night, same track. Very few times that this will ever happen. I think it's the only time this will happen. We used to have a Daytona week, which we did at the beginning of the year, but I think this is the last one where we're all at Bristol. We tried to change the schedule up a little bit so it's not so monotonous for all of our viewers and everybody else out there to watch the same cars at the same track every night. But we got to get through Bristol. Tomorrow's the Custom Cup, and then you guys have Free Agent Friday. Where are you guys at Free Agent Friday? You guys are going to be at Bristol also?
We are at Bristol.
I mean, it's just Bristol week in Cringe, baby. That's how it is
It
at Hub.
is. We are following the exact same schedule as every single driver in here. We are not, there's no special schedule. We are putting our guys through the ringer like every driver has been through the ringer this week. If they want to race with the best, they need to know what they're in for.
We got 10 viewers out there, so thanks to everybody out there viewing. Probably some of them are the guys out there driving, so they can't say what's up. Oh, the 19 gets a
loose.
Bump.
Oh, and he's not going to be able to keep it out of the middle of the track. In the 17
Icy
gets
gets
collected.
into him. Hunty goes underneath him.
And the leaders are coming around.
Yeah, I don't know if he got loose or if the 9 gave him a little bit of a bump.
But that... Oh, and the 12 is around behind him, and that is the stage end. But I definitely want to give Crab Legs a clap because he did exactly what any driver should do. He held the brake and kept it up against the wall.
Very much so.
He
Yeah,
didn't let the car roll.
I agree with that. Very much so. Yes. And Taddy says, Taddy's the lucky dog again. So thank you for letting us know that you're the lucky dog.
Taddy, I don't know who your owner is, but
That's me.
you might want to speed it up a little bit because you might get fired for always being the lucky dog.
Mm-hmm. I mean, the fact that he's still in the lead lap's the only reason why he's not having to go to the unemployment line tomorrow.
Rumor says that you might get replaced with a guy named Justin. Just saying.
Trades can be made here at Cringe Racing, Taddy.
I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
But here we go. We're going to rack them and stack them.
Here we go again.
Stage 3, Bristol.
The longest stage. Who's going to prevail?
Big Jim to the
Hunty
outside.
has found his way back up to third.
Yep.
He hasn't necessarily had the car to stay up there tonight, but can he clear his way? But the 22 is going to hold strong on his outside.
That's the Quackmaster himself, Hunty right there, Big Jim and Private Pat, and that's your top 4. They're going to round them out, try to hold on to everything, go single file as best as they can. Everybody does a pretty decent job back there, Justin. It looked like I'm trying to keep off each other, keep off the wall. Now I'm on board with the 18 of Mopower Titans. Titans got his buddy Mopower. This is actually the outside and the 20. The 20 and the 18 trying to keep off each other. Obviously his teammates, but it's very difficult. One car in front of him does scrape the wall, but we do have a battle back up here for the lead there. There's some...
Yeah, one guy that's been very quiet tonight and hasn't really made a lot of noise is Country Caliber. He has worked his way up to 4th place.
I was waiting for you to say that as soon as I was clicking through, but yeah, Daddy's looking like Daddy tonight, silent but deadly.
See, like I can't follow you in the Daddy concept because it would just be weird coming from me. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
We'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. The 11 of Country Caliber and Duck Humor rounds out your top 5.
You're welcome, Country. I think I just killed the daddy term for you. You can thank me later.
Because he keeps saying, he's like, it's creepy when you say that. I'm like, but you told me to call you Daddy, so I'm like, hey, Daddy. And he's like,
you're welcome. I killed that for you. It's done.
Yes.
We put it to rest.
There you go. One car down pit lane. That is Nuka Bob already, but
the 4 just backed out.
Oh no, that's not good.
That engine has expired in that number 4.
Another Ford motor goes up in smoke. 12
so if you're in another Ford, would you be nervous?
Yeah, I would be. I mean, hell, you're driving a damn Ford, but that Chevrolet is looking sexy up front, and it's in the orange, too. But he does have a Ford and a Toyota, so there's a 3-way manufacturer battle for the lead. And 4th is the 22 of the Quackmaster, and right behind him is Country Caliber. That rounds out your top 5. Closely behind them is the battle, but the top 3 starting to work away again. The leader and Private Patent, it doesn't seem like he's pushing any issues. Hunty's right there with them. They're all going single file. Try not to wear their cars out and take themselves out by wrecking. Big Jim came back, got that stage win in the first stage there, even having some misfortune, but you don't want to do that here in stage 3.
Yeah, and I believe this is strategy for the 14. He's going to lag behind the 9. He's got Hunty behind him. He's going to lag behind the 9. He's not going to use up a lot of his car. He's going to try to put pressure on that 9 car to get him to use up his stuff so that he has to pit earlier than the guys behind him. But if there's one guy that's in a perfect position right now, it's Hunty. No pressure from behind by at least 12 car lengths. He can run his corner the way that he needs to run it.
I agree with that, yeah, and he was just backing up for that, being patient. Again, a small clip with the wall, but that's no harm, no foul for him. But Private Pat, not getting off the rear bumper of that beautiful orange and black number 9 Chevrolet of Big Jim up front. Clicking through the field right now, trying to see everything else. The slush man himself, Mr. Icy, again, thoughts and prayers out to his family and him. Yesterday they lost a member of their family, a 4-legged friend, and everybody knows I just had to put one of my buddies down a couple months ago while we were out in Vegas. So again, still thinking about you, Icy. I know it's very difficult, but he raced. He's out here trying to hold on to that. 17 mobile. I mean, he
And
would
the
be faster
9,
to...
the
Go ahead.
9 is making the worst mistake of his career right now. He
And that's
gave
letting
the
Private go in front
14
of
the
him?
top.
Yeah.
Well, he gave the high side to the 14.
I mean, some
Number
people give
one
people
rule
the
at
top, though,
Bristol.
and it's not bad at top. I mean, but some people like the bottom, too, though.
Yikes. Yikes.
What? That's a racing term.
Listen, coming from you, I don't know
What?
whether it's a racing term or...
What? Yeah, that's... So, my co-counterpart broadcaster commentator up here tonight apparently has a dirty mind.
Well, hello. We've had conversations before. You should know this.
I'm just saying, some people like to go high, wide, handsome, and some people like that low line. That's all I'm saying.
God.
It happens.
I should have went to bed.
He said he should have pulled the UK. But the 14 pulling away from the 9. Hunty's still out there in third. The 22 car looks like he's falling off just a little bit, or he might be safe, but he doesn't have a lot of pressure behind right now, but he does have that 19 of crab legs coming up, so he's got to be careful about that. Coco said he coordinates that with Daddy. All right, buddy. Things
I don't
that
know
happen.
if I can do these broadcasts for the Cup Series anymore.
Oh, why is that? Is it because they're long races?
No.
Oh. Is it because I'm bald?
No.
Oh, I'm not even bald, but... No, thank you again tonight, too, for jumping in. You do such a great job up here, but it's a pleasure to have you, again, helping out on the Free Agent Fridays and being in the broadcast whenever you can. I know you work, and I know you got lives and stuff to take care of, so your time and your knowledge is very much appreciated here in the booth at Cringe.
Listen, I'm just here to make Cringe history as one of the few openly gay guys that drive.
Well, I mean, there's 2 of you.
I know. Cringe has it all.
Yeah, we've got Europeans,
daddies,
we've got Mexicans, we've got Canadians.
We've got women, we've
got
gays.
women, we got gays. I mean, we are multicultural.
I mean, what other league out there are you going to find this? Nowhere.
I don't think anywhere else, no. You are correct.
Nuka says he's biting his tongue right now.
Don't bite it too hard.
We're probably going to get fired after this broadcast.
If he doesn't fire me, he's not going to fire you.
If any captain's listening out there, and if I get fired, please pick me up for your car.
The 17 of the slush guy himself, Mr. Icy, spun around just a little bit. 13 viewers now, so the race is increasing, the viewers are increasing. We appreciate all of that. Slushy having a little bit of a rough night again, man. Not good for him. 24 of Nubby. We haven't talked too much about him, right behind his teammate in that 48. And he's got Tackleberry again, my buddy from up in Illinois. I didn't know this, though, but ironically, Tackleberry probably ended up seeing me race one time when I was at the Springfield Mile, since it's not too far from there. But that's really cool. I got to meet somebody else last night traveling around the country. I get to meet so many people. Got to meet Roughneck Outlaw last night, but the 21 of NRG on that lower apron, trying to figure out how he can get back up in the racing groove, but it's very difficult. He'll have 3 or 4 more cars to wait on, but NRG...
And that's one guy right there. It doesn't matter how many times he wrecks or how many laps he goes down. He continues just to keep pushing.
He sticks with it. And that's, you know, I mean, as a captain, as the, CEO of the league and everything like that, too, that shows a lot. That says no matter what happens, things happen in racing. It can be rough, but he's always sticking with it at all times. So, but Nuka and the 41 of Cola, both in Mustangs, ironically, have expired for the evening, or retired or expired. Expired motors were retired for the evening. Which one sounds better?
I'm going back on board with the 14. He's going to start getting into heavy lap traffic here in the next 5 or 6 laps.
I just clicked onto him,
yep. Not quite sure who it is. I believe that's the either the 24 or the 10, the first one he's going to catch.
The 10 would be, again, still trying to get acclimated to the new drivers, in the new series side. The 10, though, is the one and only Wicked Gatekeeper. He's in jeopardy.
I'm very surprised with that tonight, too, because normally Wicked Gatekeeper is a guy that we mention his name as one of the front runners. Oh, and Taddy got way loose. He's going to fall victim to the 14, but the 14 is going to have a very difficult time.
One car spun around. I think Taddy got spun around. That's going to put him at least a lap or two down, waiting for everybody else to get out of the way. Very few cautions tonight, preset style here, Anchorage Season 6 at Bristol in the Cup Series, Justin. Very few cautions.
Right, which is actually a very huge surprise, because we had that huge wreck, which they did not throw the caution for.
That one should have been a caution, yeah.
But Patton is not having a... I mean, he's making it work, but I know inside his helmet he does not want these lap cars to take that high side. He wants to be able to get them on the high side because he can get around them faster.
Jumping on board with Crab Legs right now. He's by himself. On board with the Titans guy himself. Titans, again, not seems to be working out so great for him. But at the end of the day, again, all of these guys, and this is an endurance race. I mean, this is only 50%.
Absolutely.
But even at 50%, this is endurance at Bristol. To like you said, especially with the NRG having a rough night and some of the other drivers having a rough night, to stay out there, stick with it, and just compete. You know, we do it for the fun of it. I mean, we all get heated, but at the end of the day, it is fun. It is for fun.
And the best part about it too is you're going to one of the smallest, fastest tracks this week, where you're having to work around people. And next week, you're going to one of the fastest, biggest tracks on there, where you're going to be doing probably consistent, pack battling.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're going to be bumper to bumper.
Yeah, at Auto Club. I can't wait for Auto Club.
And next week is probably one of the most weirdest weeks on the schedule, because we have preset guys going to a fast oval, and we have custom guys going to a fast road course.
Yes, very, very much so.
Two completely opposite ends of the spectrum next week.
And I'm over here rubbing my hands. I love both those tracks. Cannot wait. Cannot wait to come back. Country out there, still maintaining his 11 Mobile. I can't honestly, I can't call it anything else than the 11 Mobile. They need to come up with some creative paint schemes for FedEx. I understand they got sponsors and paint schemes, but bro, come up with a different paint scheme.
I know. It's crazy to think about too, how FedEx has literally been one of Denny Hamlin's primary sponsors the entire time he's been in that car.
Now, does anybody remember he had one other driver that they were switching back and forth with? We'll give it 30 seconds just because we don't want to have everybody Google if they can, but what was the other driver out there that Denny Hamlin was competing with for the 11 ride?
And we have Cole out there saying he's winning both next week.
Hunty spins around on the front stretch. Yeah, Cola, that's my homeboy right there, but at the same time.
Cola, if you're listening, I need a good setup for a road course next week. Please help me.
Don't ask me either. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about your teammate. Well, you know what? Something just happened. We went from 1 thumbs up to 0 thumbs up to 1 thumbs down. That's
Yikes.
discouraging.
They don't like us.
I know.
That's okay.
But let me check on board. Taddy is in that 9th position. 74 more laps on his screen. I don't know if how many laps down he is. I know he done spun, so let's call it at least 70 to 72.
And I'm curious to see when they're going to have to pit. You know, how much longer can they go on this set of tires? Because if you look Boom Vision on the 14, he almost had about a full straightaway gap on Big Jim, and it looks like Big Jim is starting to ever so slightly close up back on him.
Yep, and he's got more traffic right in front of him. 18 of Titans, it looks like. Coming off that apron, scrapes the wall. That's going to check the 9 car up just a little bit. The 9 car is still just being patient, waiting on everything to happen. We still have a couple more pit stops to go. I at least think 2, maybe definitely 1 for sure. On tires, but for fuel, they got to stop. They got to stop and get Sunoco petrol.
Absolutely, and the other thing too is you can do it on 2 stops. You can definitely do it on 1, but the problem with doing it on 1 is you have to pit at the right time to know that those tires are going to make it. Because we saw here in the preset Xfinity, a lot of the drivers were saying on that last final stretch, they came across the line with 3, 4, 5% left on that right front tire.
Right. Correct. So,
and I think that was you being one of them.
Yeah, I came across with 5% on a preset Xfinity car.
So you have to pit at the right time, because if not, that tire will not last. And it looks like some of these, maybe the 18 has already gone down pit road, because he's going to go right by the number 14.
Strategy can come into play again. We might see another caution. Cars have spread out. They've done a very great job tonight of avoiding, caution flags at all costs. But
the other thing too that is playing in your mind, that me as a driver, that I do too, especially at a short track like this. Oh, it looks like the 48's bringing it down pit road for his stop. If you're on the lead lap and you're anywhere within distance to see when the 14 pits, as soon as that 14 pits and you're a lead lap car, get on pit road as soon as he does. You do not want to stay out at any more than 1 lap, because that little bit of fresh tire advantage will definitely help everything.
And I've done this. I've made this mistake. I don't know how many times too. Try to stay out an extra lap behind the leader, and it costs you. At the same time, I tried to short pit a lap or 2 before the leader. But sometimes, it is best to keep that leader in your sights there, Justin.
And pit stops have started happening. Taddy's coming off now. I believe the 11 of Country Caliber just did his pit stop. So if I'm the 14 in any of those lead lap cars, one of you've got to be the first one to make that move. Somebody's got to dive down and make that move. I know you don't want to, but that could be an advantage right there. A huge advantage. This is one of the slowest pit roads.
Not only getting on, but getting off.
Right, because getting off, you may not be able to merge on the track. And it's very easy to either A, clip the line to the wrong pit road, or B, lose control of the car trying to merge back up. Because we're at a point now on this race where there's a car on every single surface and every corner and every front stretch right here.
Yep.
Oh, a caution.
Oh, I think we're under caution.
There's a
caution. We're under caution right now.
Who went around? Maybe the 17 and the 21 got into a tussle? I'm not 100% sure, but we are under caution. So what do you do here? Obviously you're going to pit. Big question is, can you make it? And those guys that just pitted, are they going to go down pit road again?
Or are they going to stay out, get their lap back, and stay for that track position? Exactly,
right,
I agree.
Because you know the leaders are going to pit, so some of these guys can take the wave around. And the other thing, too, are we going to see more of a ramp up now that we've gotten that caution?
Well, we will find out. The saga will continue.
Pitted. We are back up front with the 14 and the 9. Oh, and the 9 got a great restart on that high side. He's going to clear the 14 into turn 1.
And again, we talked about this, how difficult it is, too, here at these pit lane, I mean, not pit lane, but the restarts and how close you are to stay off each other, not to hit the wall.
But we saw that 9 car get that good restart last time, and within 5 laps, the 14 had worked his way around the 9 car and got the lead and pulled away. So if you're the 9 car right now, are you trying to take the line away from the 14?
If you're the 9 car, you don't necessarily want to take his line away. That could take a chance of something happening where you guys might touch each other and then wreck.
And
just
he's
race
gonna
that
get a
race car
run
in front of you.
So the biggest thing right here is, well, not now because the 2 behind him are side-by-side racing, but you guys want to get it sorted out because it's going to make that 19 come ever so closer to you if you continue to run side-by-side.
I agree. Give me, if you got 30 seconds there, Justin, go ahead and take it so I can pause for station identification.
So right now, we're single file at the front of the pack. We've got the 22 in third. The 12 is making a move on the 18. So the one thing to watch out for here is definitely, are they going to have to pit again? And how, and the 14 is going to make a move to the inside of the 9, but, and he is going to clear him. But the 9's going to make a crossover and give the bump and run, which is now going to allow to open the door for the 19 and the 22. Can the 19 use that advantage, or is he going to push the 14 along outside? And right there, so the 9 was not able to complete that pass. A little bit of a door into the 19.
Sorry about that. Yeah, but they're holding on to everything. 14 is the new leader. Here comes Crab Legs, and that is the Quackmaster and the 22 car right behind them too. So those 4 fresh tires and possible adjustments that they made looking good. Some of those guys back there probably didn't want to see the that caution come out. A lot of those guys probably did want to see that caution come out though.
Yeah, and the 9 car is running what I call the Matty D line, where he's not committing to the bottom, but he's not committing to the top. He's trying to be as straight off the exit as possible, because that helps with the more speed that he can get off the corner.
Yeah, the high line definitely gives you a better run.
The 14's been doing a lot of learning. He's been running behind Big Jim. He knows the line that Big Jim wants to run, so he's taking away the line that Big Jim wants to run, which is not allowing Big Jim to get the runs that he needs.
And that's smart driving right there too, you know. That's like you said, it's studying. It's like going to school. The first couple stages, yeah, points are nice. Points are very big here this year at Cringe Racing, but at the same time, wins are also huge. And just being able to pay attention and see what happens. I mean, that shows what kind of drivers we got, you know.
And the biggest thing to remember for every driver in every series, it's not always necessarily about leading. Yes, leading is great. You're not getting a prize for the most laps led. You know, sometimes if there's a driver out there that's your competition, sometimes they're not going to know, you know, look behind them. Watch the lines that they run. Watch the grooves that they run. Watch where they make mistakes and all that stuff. That way you know going into races, hey, if I put pressure on this guy in this spot on the track, it's going to force him into a mistake.
And as everybody knows, I've raced, you know, for a long time, motorcycles and cars. Sometimes on a 25-lap race and a motorcycle race, you don't have a lot of time to make moves. But sitting there, studying for a lap or two, figuring out their weakness, and figuring out how to get around them is the best way to do it. And we are seeing that being evident, proof tonight. And,
I mean, we all know Private Patton has definitely made a name, or himself a name in Cringe. He's one of the cleanest and most...
Queen. He's also the queen in NASCAR.
Most consistent drivers, and he's not an easy guy to get around, you know. He's not going to wreck you to race you for the lead, but he's not going to make it easy either.
Very fast, very clean driver, knowing exactly. So the talent he's got to work with of himself, plus people in front of him, could bring us a great finish here at Bristol. Things you like to see, Justin. That's good racing we were having.
Yeah, this has been one of the better races that I've seen for Bristol.
And a very
I mean, what
track.
do you expect from Bristol? Your drivers are going to get into each other. They're going to have tempers after the race. But the one thing you have to remember is it's Bristol. What are you going to do? Everybody's going to be into each other. It's the name of the game.
Somebody said it, and again, I think it was Denny, but it's famous words. It's just what's whack racing. Nuka said he really appreciates 704 with the very consistent caution flags that we've seen. And somebody we haven't seen for a while, and not even on the track, he got fancy on us. Wanted to go get himself one of them there pewters and go iRacing, the old Dean Clavitt man himself, El Parco.
Icy is on the apron. I think he just got loose. Yeah, I have to get, like you said earlier in the broadcast, a huge shout out to Icy, with everything that's going on in his family right now, and then, being put in the spotlight of now owning a team, that's a lot of stress right there on its own. So
that happened
huge
in the
shout
last
out to
48
him.
hours. But Cola said goodnight. Yeah, but Cola taking over for Medical Motorsports over there, so he's got a lot of pressure and everything going on. For him to maintain a frustrating race like this and stay out there, again, that shows what kind of mentality he is. But he is a Marine. They were taught to never quit.
14's going to put the 20 car another lap down, and he's pulled away from the 9, but we saw in the other, right before that caution in the longer run, that 9 car had maybe started reeling in that 14 just ever so slightly on the longer laps as it started clicking away. And he's now, the other thing too is, in the first 15-20 laps of the run, the 9 car is using the middle to the bottom. Now as the laps run on, he's using that high side.
The 21 car back down pit lane.
Possibly get runs.
Private Patton still leading up here, looking
and
really
I
strong.
believe the 21, the engine may have expired on that.
He just went down pit lane, so I don't know.
Maybe they have to pit again. Maybe they can't make it, so maybe this is a strategy for the 21. But if I am correct, he's at least 3 or 4 laps down prior to earlier in the race.
And Dean said he's dealing with some private stuff or personal stuff, and he didn't have time for heat anymore. Well, we all hope that goes well for you in personal life. Again, everybody at Cringe, we were always here to help and support each other. So, Dean, hope everything's going well for you. Do miss seeing you on the track, but the 14. Private Patton.
If I'm the 14, I'm looking in that mirror because that 9 car is not going away. He's getting bigger and bigger in that mirror.
Things the 14 doesn't want to see.
A caution.
And the 9.
They do not want to see a caution. And the other thing the 14 doesn't want to see is these 2 lap cars catch up to the next 3 lap cars. Because that's going to cause major problems for him.
I agree.
I mean, he's got one Ford teammate in the 12. The 12 is going to possibly give way to him as a corporate teammate.
And then you got to be careful, again, just not all of the guys here in Cringe, just because they have, same team, per se, cars, they're not always on the same team, for the Cringe, so.
Right.
But Nukaba, no, that's the 12, that's Dsmith, look like he's trying to,
the
hold
24
up there.
Is gonna maybe put up somewhat of a fight on the 14. No, I think it was just caught him in the wrong spot at the wrong time. So the other thing too is when you come up to lap traffic, you don't want to catch him in the corner. No. You want to try your best to try. So one thing that I've learned from friends over the years that I've raced with on here at some of these tracks is when you're the leader and you're knowing at a place like Bristol, most of them can gauge, okay, you know, the car's in front of me, I'm going to catch them by this many laps. Try to use that throttle and gauge where that car, you're going to catch that car. Because if you can back your speed off a little bit, you can catch them on the front or the back stretch versus in the corner.
And this is a very throttle sensitive track too, especially on worn tires.
Oh, and we have breaking news in the chat, Puddin.
Uh-oh.
Nuka said he may be making the move to full iRacing soon and taking a strictly team owner role here.
Hey, I mean, we don't want to see anybody leave the Heat Series or Cringe, but there are other systems and variances of simulating racing out there. A lot of people have converted over to it. Cola just did it yesterday too.
Oh!
I know I'd like to get into it here as soon as we get settled, but
the 14 is in major lap traffic right now, and the 48 is not making it easy for him to get around. He is running the high side. Oh, and he... How many are you watching the stream for Taddy?
Yep. Right
How
now.
How many laps are left?
13 laps right there as Titan passed him. I don't know how many laps he is down because he has his thing up. He is in 7th.
I believe he's only
I'm going to say
lap.
at least 6. Yeah, so it'll be 6 by the time we count this down, but if not 5. So 13, 12, 10.
The 48 went around.
So 5, 6. So we're around 10 to go. 10 to go right here.
And the 14
Bristol.
has opened the gap back up on that 9 a little bit.
250 laps in one race.
Oh,
holy no.
Country loses it coming off the corner, hits the inside wall.
These worn tires starting to come into play, Justin.
Well, yeah, the one thing that may come into play here, you may see some of these drivers get very loose and take out some cars with them, which possibly could be a lap or a late race caution, because unfortunately, as we see in real life, as here on the game, it is not final until that white flag is in the air.
That is right, exactly. You know, we always say it's unofficial until it's official, but yeah, the race isn't ending until that checkered flag's in the air. Still,
so if I'm
we could still go.
right
we
now,
still could have a caution or two, even.
If I'm Private Patton, I am praying to the almighty race gods that these guys keep their cars under control and do not cause a caution.
Oh yeah, that is something the leaders do not want to see right now.
And again, that 9 car is slowly catching him again, but I don't believe he's going to be able to close up on him, which I think we should have at least 6 to go here.
Let me double check that count real quick. Multitasking at the same time.
Again, that 9 car.
Where we're staying at the kitchen and the living room, or I can see both, and I'm trying to make my patent stir fry for the night at the same time.
And if you look in the distance, when that 9 car enters the corner, he is driving it in deep to try to close up on it, but that's going to make him lose speed.
5 to go for Caddy, and
turn.
he's a lap down, so we got to be 3 to 4 to go.
Yeah, so we're coming to should be coming to 3 to go right here. It's gonna be a little too late for the 9.
But still a good showing for him again. Last year, Big Jim joined Cringe/Giggity halfway through the season and was unable to make the championship after a couple wins. So he gets his first full season. I think that's it. Yeah.
I think Taddy was multiple laps down.
Yeah. So Big Jim out there trying to go for his first championship here at Cringe, but because he would have made the championship playoffs last year by the win, but there was a 6-race playoff rule. You had to at least race 6 races, and he missed that by 1 race too. But he stuck it out through the year too. But so it looks like it is going to be obviously
Private Patton.
Big Jim. I'm seeing the 8th place car on his thing.
I believe Hunty.
That wouldn't surprise me.
May have stuck it out for
8th
third.
is Caliber. Tackle is in 9th. Mo Power Titan 10th, Wicked Gatekeeper 11th, Got Nub 12th, Mo Power Disaster 13th, and then he just blue screen right there for us. But we do know for a fact that we got the one and only Mr. Private Patton. Excuse me for a second while I blue screen here, guys, so we can get him into the chat. Yep. Have at it. Yeah, let's get him up here. And thanks again, Justin, Lifesaver, helping me out at the last second there. Always a pleasure to have you up here, man. And he's not appearing online. It's going to make things a little bit more tricky here. Which, yep. Let's see if... There we go. Get him up here real quick. Yeah, and at a rhythm track like that, 250 laps, very few cautions. Another great racing for C.R.I.N.G.E. And we get to do it again tomorrow. Custom style. Yeah. And I think Icy might be up in the booth for that one again. He's been helping us cover on Thursdays. I said I would do Tuesday, Wednesdays. I really love being up here. I enjoy being up here a lot. But it does wear me out a little bit. So anybody out there in YouTube land who wants to help, if they ever want to help broadcast or commentate, please let us know. The car that he had must have been a DLC. I don't have that one, but 14 car up there for the Cup guys. Give him just a couple minutes. Thoughts? What's your thoughts and opinions on tonight's race there, Justin?
That was, I mean, other than that one caution and a couple of mistakes here and there, that was one of the best races this week. You know, there's a reason these guys are in Cup.
Hello?
Hey,
Hello?
look, you didn't miss it again.
I didn't miss it again. Interview.
Hey, and by the way, why are we not friends on here? Because this is we got to be friends on here.
I thought we were. Like, I was going through. I'm just like, dang. I hope Puddin has me as a friend. I'm pretty sure we do. I mean, we've been racing together a long time.
Right? Yeah. And I tried to find you online. I couldn't find you offline. Maybe I missed it. Well, you changed it to the Private Patton instead of just Private Patton. So maybe I was looking at the P's, not the T's. But anyway, we get you up here, man. Congratulations. A W. Now, I don't have your exact car. I don't have the DLC. I'm not paying $5 for extra for games when you pay $70
you don't
for it.
sweat as much as I do.
Right. Exactly. I mean, hell, I paid $70 for the game. Give me the damn stuff. Anyways, but my commentator up here, Justin Shackett, man, has been a big help helping us out. And he said he's got quite a few questions for you, so I'm going to let him take it away, Ben.
Oh, shoot away.
Congrats on your win.
Thank you.
You definitely were one of the classes of the field that entire race. My first question was, when that caution came out, were you a little nervous, like where the caution had fallen?
At that point, no, because it basically split the stage in half, and what I was actually more relieved about, honestly, was I saw everyone like making pit stops. Like I saw from like sixth place on make pit stops. I'm just like, oh man, maybe I should start thinking about pitting. And I was actually legitimately giving it thought up until that caution came out. Because I was just like, I'm gonna wait for like Big Jim, Crab Leg, Hunty, Duck to pit before me, you know, to kind of test the water, see if there's gonna be like a caution to kind of split that up. And there wasn't. I was like, okay, well maybe I should actually start thinking about it. And then there was caution. I was like, all right, decision made for me. Yeah, that basically split the stage in half. I was worried about a late race caution though, because Big Jim destroyed me through the gears. I mean, like, if that was a green-white checkered, I would have lost. Not even a question.
Yeah, we definitely saw that on the restarts where it was more of a gear thing because right into turn 1 he had you clear and you had to work your way back around him again.
It's like I was running on auto and he was running on manual. I swear I'm on manual. Like that was, I have no idea. Like if he like slipped a custom gear setup in there and without me knowing, because I wish that was a thing. But no, like just yeah, I was relieved that we didn't go to green white checker. I was in the team chat. I was like, okay, please just let me get to that white flag. And then even during that white flag, it's like, okay, no mistakes. All right.
No, once again, you've proven your worth through your team and how you and Big Jim raced a lot of clean racing at a very difficult track to pass on. Both you guys showed your patience, and I mean, more thing I can only know. I already do know, buddy, that there's more good things to come from you this year. So this won't be our first or last post-race interview for the year. So accept that friendly request, apparently.
Oh, okay? I will. I will make sure to accept that right now. I'm actually just glad as well. Like, hopefully that put on a show. Like I know Bristol is not really known for being side by side battling, but like him and I were like side by side for a while.
Now, one more question for you before we go off air.
Shoot.
Were you more nervous about the 9 car, or were you more nervous about the 73 car?
Oh, Hunty? Oh, actually, well, if you would have asked me in the beginning of the race, I was actually more worried about my teammate Nuka. Which, by the way, shout out to him, shout out to all my team. You know, like Money Mike for giving me this opportunity. You know, like it's awesome.
Don't give him any credit.
I was actually
just be happy he wasn't in the race to wreck you.
Oh, shots fired, baby. I love it.
Oh my God, shot through the heart. But no, I was just gonna use my setup that I've been using like for like the past like other like league races, and Nuka was just like, oh, you know, I was actually running like 15.5s. I'm just like, whoa, 15.5s, holy God, like that's possible. You know, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but he was like running 15.5, so he gave me his setup and I plugged it in. I'll tell you what, that thing was solid. So shout out to Nuka. Like if you would have asked me in the beginning of the race, like who I was the most worried about, I was actually worried about Nuka the most. But then unfortunately, he got into some trouble. I don't exactly know what happened. He said he got loose. It was right when we were battling, all 3 of us battling for the lead in stage 1, and then he just never got his lap back. So, like, definitely wish he would have been up there, because I feel like if he was, I would have been more nervous for him. But towards the ladder run, I was actually really worried about Big Jim, because I could see he was making improvements to his car every single stop. So he was gaining on me. He wasn't nearly getting as loose. Like during that entire final run, we were like less than like a second apart. So like he was just not letting me go.
Any final comments or words, opinions, questions, or anything, Justin, for our winner or anybody out there in YouTube land?
Nope.
I'm glad I swept Bristol.
Just be glad that it's done. I had to do back-to-back nights too, man. It's not fun. It is a fun track to ride, but it is daunting and tedious at the same time. So congratulations to our winner tonight, Mr. Private Pat, the general himself, as Boomhauer used to call him. Yeah, I've started calling you the Queen Patton, but so
yes,
I like it. I like it.
I do have one more thing to say.
Go ahead.
Oh,
feel free. Come check us out Friday night, starting at 7:30 with the presets, and then 8:30 with the Xfinity or the customs. Free Agent Friday. It's a hell of a time. Team owners, please tune in. See if there's any drivers you need to fill in your teams.
Yes,
sign drivers can't race during that, right?
Team owners can race.
Sign drivers, so like I can't race.
Sign drivers are shut off until next season. Oof. We are doing strictly just team owners for now.
I had a lot of fun racing the other night with you guys.
We want to make this season more about the drivers who are in there and give them the time that they need first. But feel free to come check us out.
I like
Definitely watch the broadcast, scout for team owners, try to get your teams full. There's definitely lots of talent up and coming through there.
That is facts. That is facts. So, Private Patton, congratulations to you, Justin. Once again, a big, huge shout out. Literally filling in at literally the last minute too, joining me up here
You're
in the
welcome.
booth, helping me out tonight. For Justin Shackett, our winner, Private Patton, I am Puddin Knievel. This is Cringe Racing Season 6. Don't forget to go back, like, subscribe, hit that button. I don't know who gave us the thumbs down, but
Probably the same guy that told me that Formula One pit stops were faster than NASCAR. He watched my video and then disliked my video because of that.
And as we go off air, let me do it the right way for you. Yes, Queen.
Yes!
So thank you guys. Congratulations. Thanks to everybody else out there for tuning in tonight. Have a great night. Stay tuned. We'll be back at Bristol tomorrow for the custom race. And like Justin just said, stay tuned for all the team owners out there and pay attention to those drivers on Free Agent Friday. I am Puddin Knievel for Justin Shackett, our race winner, Private Patton tonight. Congratulations, everybody. COVID is still a real thing. I know people are opening up. It is still a real thing. Wear your mask, social distance. Please be safe. We will get through this together. Have a great night, y'all.
Bye.
Bye! That's right, I forgot.